Good afternoon, good morning, everybody. I'm having a little bit of a challenge trying to figure out exactly how to set up some of this stuff. So if you are not getting a movable screen, you're getting the screen, but you're not getting my pretty face. So, that's just going to have to be part of today's episode. I'll get it fixed by next time. So, last episode, we had our lovely little CEO come up with our sort of week by week launch plan, and we also had sort of a vision. One of the things I thought that was really important to put together would be to get to kind of start documenting all this stuff. So I set up a Hugo site here. It's not quite ready yet, but this will be published as soon as I get it completely worked out and ready. And I'll go ahead and post that in the notes as soon as it's ready to go. But with that in mind, since our CEO has told us, okay, here's what we're going to do next, we're going to go ahead and do that. And next on our plan is, here we go. Actually, no, I'll go over here, Foundation of Planning. We're going to go ahead and refine the vision a little bit because I'm not 100% certain it has a lot of, sort of quick business access, or it doesn't have a very strong business case. Not because I don't think it's a valuable problem, but because I think it is a very, very crowded space in particular, right? Now, if you think about the market as far as where AI is going and so forth, the original idea from the AI CEO kind of hit at this in a gold rush, sell the pickaxes kind of approach. And I want to continue on this theme. So let's refine our vision a little bit, and we'll say, hey, hey, the ETL space is quite crowded. How about we try to become the primary provider of data? Say, that can then be put into ETL pipelines, right? So the gold is data. Us being the primary owner of the data would actually set us up as a kind of a nice little clearinghouse for all the different data sets that are going to go into some of our customers' world. So let's see. Smart pivot, positioning ourselves as a primary provider of high quality pre-vetted data. Yes, there we go. So that looks like a really good. Can you, one thing I do want to do here, can you reformat all these in Markdown, please? And the reason I want that is, of course, because Hugo is a Markdown engine. So let's have it reformat all this stuff again. It seems to be having problems with this. Either that or it's the formatting of the chat editor itself. Okay. Huh. Or maybe it natively outputs Markdown and I just can't see it. Well, give it a moment. There we go. Fantastic. So we'll go ahead and take this, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to take our vision. We'll go ahead and dump it in there, and I'll format this offline. There we go. Yeah, bad formatting. And then the updated 60-day plan, which I might add, doesn't actually map it to 60 days, but we'll just go with that. 12 weeks is 3 months. But I don't give it too much of a hard time on this one because it is just a bot, shall we say. So great, now let's go ahead and move on. Now we've kind of refined our vision. Let's go ahead and update our website and marketing materials to reflect our new focus. I have managed to get my hands onto a domain, which is dataplay.io, which, pretty straightforward. Not entirely sure it is a very strong brand name, but it is a good enough brand name for the purposes of this little experiment. So I've managed to acquire a domain name, at dataplay.io. Fantastic. Wow. Immediate next steps. Okay. Week 1, market research, update our website. Landing page, clearly communicates our vision, include brief overview, blog. Okay, blog branding, logo guidelines. This all looks pretty good. So we're going to narrow in on these here. So can you create a detailed list of tasks that I can put on a Trello board that an engineer, and this is going to be hilarious, can reasonably complete in 2, let's call it 6 to 8 hour work days. First 2-day sprint. Wow. AI generated sprint planning. Well, that's fantastic. Okay. So it will be on me to go ahead and convert this into Trello again in the off hours. I'll go ahead and create a task for me to do that. So let me just make a note of that. And let's take a look at what it actually wants us to do here. So let's see. Purchase hosting, already done. Link the domain name to a hosting provider. Turns out I actually already have that. This is an older domain of mine that I've kind of been sitting on for a while. So let's go ahead and take a look at what that might look like. Dataplay.io, currently empty. I do have a blog out there. It's not the fastest thing. And I do have an app out there, which is, as you might imagine, it doesn't really do much. It really has just an auth system. For context, I am originally an identity person. I'm quite good at sort of authorization authentication problems. And this domain was kind of the place where I played with all of the new RFCs that came out, such as device code, and I implemented a secure remote password layer on top of the OIDC protocol, which I'm not entirely happy with because there's sort of a weird blending of identity and authorization. But it was fun to build. So we have that. Install a content management system like WordPress or a static site generator like Gatsby. So we do have WordPress. We also have Gatsby. So the one other thing, I'm going to give it another constraint here because WordPress running on AWS is currently costing me about $50 a month. And I really don't want this to blow my bank out because frankly, I am currently on garden leave and there is a very real chance that I am going to be drawing an unemployment check in a few months. So instead, I'm going to say we're going to limit our hosting. Let's limit our hosting to, actually, let's add an internal goal to make the operation of the product as cost effective as possible. This is business speak for cheap, right? So setting up the website. So with the CMS, I'm guessing we're going to go with something like Gatsby or Hugo. Right now I've got WordPress. Frankly, it is a little bit expensive and setting up a Hugo site makes a lot more sense, especially because I would prefer doing all this stuff in Golang. We'll double check what Gatsby is. Actually, let's have it. Okay. That doesn't actually change anything. Seems like that. Okay. What? Given that we want to be super cheap, what static site generators do you recommend? Okay, Jekyll. Okay, Ruby. I would outright disqualify that one. Ruby has been on the downswing for quite some time, and it's going to be hard to find engineers if we ever get to a hiring place. I don't want Ruby to be introduced into the tech stack at this point. Our engineers know Golang, and they know Java, and they know TypeScript. That's pretty much all we've got to work with. Hugo, okay, requires knowledge of Go. Right, great. Gatsby can be complex to set up. Excellent performance of SEO out of the box, built on React. I don't mind React, so to say. I think when we are coming to something that is user scrapable, adding as much JavaScript or adding this level of JavaScript into it might give us an issue with SEO scrapers. It does say excellent performance in SEO out of the box. I can say that this is something you really need to do in Hugo. You really need to have an SEO expert. But frankly, we have an AI CEO, so I'm not worried about this. 11T, very simple, flexible, templating engine, smaller community. Okay, this worries me. Small communities, I've gotten burned on some frameworks in the past. So it seems like Hugo is our only real option. Using 11D might be the best option. Netlify for free, huh? Let's take a look at it. Looks like a markdown site editor, general, so. Our engineers know Golang, TypeScript, Java. Which site generator would you recommend? Hugo, there we go. Next.js is not a site generator. Docusaurus. Okay, there we go. Hugo. Okay, so let's go setting up hosting domain. We're going to go ahead and initialize a sudo Hugo project for our blog. Initial landing page structure, homepage, sections, CTA for early access sign up, design and branding, simple logo. Okay. I only have about 5 more minutes this particular episode, so I'm going to ask it to do something fun and actually design a logo. Okay. This could be funny. Oh, that's interesting. It has some issues with text. However, yeah, and and it's not exactly precise. But I must admit that some of these elements actually quite appeal to me. This notion of a loop here, this hexagonal thing with a little swoop through it with the different colors. I like that it's using blue as a base. It's one of my favorite colors. I like that we have some light and dark options. So it sounds to me like I'm also going to need to take this into Illustrator and process it accordingly in order to get ourselves something that's vector scalable. Great. All right. All right, let's just go with that then. All right, I have 1 day's. Let me go ahead and we'll start with day 1. And I'm going to, since we're trying to be in an episodic format here, I'm going to wait and I'm going to do some of this stuff privately, including homepage, headline, subheadline, sections, and product overviews, all these different components in order to just get our website set up. There's some real sort of low-level work I got to get done here. So I will come back when I'm done with day 1 activities, and then we will go ahead and see what day 2 holds for us. Thank you, everybody, for